everybody. It's Nopsa here. Gossip Talk Shows Find Your Own Voice Lead from Within. So with me today, I have Amanda Marie. How are you, Amanda?
Good. Good.
Awesome, awesome. So our topic today is dating apps killing the meaning of true love. We live in this world where technology continues to shape the way we connect and communicate, and dating apps have been emerged as powerful tool to facilitate romantic encounters. While these platforms promises convenience and a vast pool of potential partners, but there is a growing concern surfaced every day. Are really dating apps killing the meaning of true love? So today we're just going to explore the modern romance and questioning the impact of technology on the pursuit of genuine connection. I've met people that are happy they've met their spouse through dating apps. And I also met people that are complaining. There's one of my clients, actually, she said she went on a 100 dates. Like she was counting like 59, 69, 100. And she was like, it looks like some people, they just go online to get free meals. And people go online for different reasons. What do you think, Amanda, in Canada? What's the
Yeah,
situation there?
I don't know because I haven't been on a dating app for a while, like a couple of years, but I definitely know for me, like I wish that it was easier to meet people in real life or that there was more of a like opportunities to meet people in real life that weren't the bars or um like your social scene or something. Like it seems to be, I think that's why dating apps are really powerful, is because they have the opportunity for you to meet people that are not necessarily within your same social circle. And sometimes that can be great, sometimes that can be really difficult. I know that one of the anxieties that I really have when I'm on a dating app is that it's like, how many other people are they talking to, and are they being truthful, and are because their ability to hide their truth and to be on multiple dating apps at the same time or seeing multiple people at the same time is really quite easy, especially for people who have really busy lives like me. I'm busy all the time with my daughter, so I really don't have a lot of time for a relationship, and having somebody to see like once a week or once every 2 weeks is kind of all I could handle. And so then you really have to be able to set some really clear boundaries around whoever it is that you're talking with or you get into a relationship with, because they need to be on the same page, right? And I think so much of that revolves around communication. And sometimes I think the illusion of quantity sometimes affects our ability to have quality. And I think that's one of the reasons why our phones are so powerful, but yet such a distraction too. That sometimes when you feel like a relationship isn't working very well, your instant is like, well, I'll just go back online and meet somebody because it's so easy to meet somebody. Yeah, there's lots of quantity of people, but not necessarily quality when you're going on a constant like rotating dating app thing. And one of the things I noticed, because I've gone on and off of them, like I'll meet somebody and have a relationship for a year or 6 months or something, and then just realize that that relationship isn't really working for me, and so I'll end it and like lovingly be like, I'm sorry, this just really isn't working for me. But and then when I eventually feel confident enough to go back on them, sometimes the exact same people are on that were on before. And it's so interesting for me, even when it's like been like a year or 2 or 3 years since I've been on it, it's like almost the same people over and over again. And then you're like, why is it those same people? And then the same question is, why am I the same person that's on there? Right. And so what is it within yourself that that puts that out there. And so this time for me, like somebody said to me, they're like, are you gonna go back on dating apps now that you and the person you were dating broke up? And I was like, you know what? No, I'm just gonna focus on my daughter. I'm going to focus on what's best for her. And like she's only in grade 7 right now. I have till she's 18 to like get her to grade 12 here in Canada. And I'm like, I'm just gonna focus on her for the next 5 years till she's done school. And if somebody shows up in my life in real life in that amount of time, great. And if not, I'm have zero desire to be on a dating app. But that's just me, right? I really want to focus on healing the parts of me that struggle in relationship. And so I think that might be one of the things, but somebody else might have different advice where they think it's like really good for you to go on dating apps and build your self-confidence and realize that there's multiple people out there. And I think some people I know people who've met online and ended up in really loving relationships and ended up getting married and are super happy. And so it can be like you can see both. I think that it really is powerful to allow you to meet people, but I think you have to be really conscious around your boundaries on it because there is such a quantity, not necessarily quality of people on them.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with you. You just have to follow where your heart leads you, and also based on what you want as well. Like right now, you say you want to raise your daughter, make sure that you prepare her for the future. I was watching this. There's this guy. He does dating online. Um, Interviewing people online, and I saw these men like they were like, I wouldn't date a woman with a kid. So he was like against the women with children. I was like, I wouldn't date them because you date them today and you're like, when you try to arrange for a date and they're like, oh, I can't make it because my kid is ill, or they're trying to find another the replace find the kid's father or something. I was like, that is not true. When a single person are looking for love, a single woman is looking for love. They're just looking for love. They're not looking to replace a father for that child. So I was like, that I don't think that is the case. And there were women like they were getting angry and they were like, I've got kids, but when putting myself out there, it does not mean that I'm looking to replace the father of my child. I always make it clear I have boundaries. I think people have ideas of a single woman is this, but that is not true. So any guys that are out there, there are good people out there who are single moms. So please don't label them and say you can't date them because they're this.
I
And I
think
like
I have something just to add to this because I went on a date a number of years ago with somebody who was a widow and they had or I don't know what it's called it when it's like a male whose partner has passed. But so his partner his wife had died a few years prior and he had a son that was like 3 years old and he very on the very first date was like, I'm looking for a mom for my kid. And I was like, that's that's great. Like you need to be open and honest from day one about what you're looking for. And for me, he wasn't the right fit for me because he had a whole bunch of drinks when at like 3 o'clock on a Friday when we were meeting for like an hour. And I was like, you're not for me because I don't drink alcohol. So like you seem like a really wonderful person, but I'm not the person for you because alcohol isn't something that I really want in my life. Which is fine, but like I think he's on my social media or something, and I've seen now that he's like got married and happily married, and like I'm just like, oh, like I'm so glad that person found what he was looking for. But he was also like very upfront from the beginning about what he was looking for. And I think that's really, really important to go into dating knowing what you're looking for, and if that is what you're looking for is like a replacement because you've had that loss, then just be like really open and honest from day one. But I agree with you, Nomza, too, that people who are dating, who are single moms, are not looking for a replacement for the child's dad. They're looking for a partner, and that's essentially what I approach dating as, is like, I'm looking for a partner that's going to help me grow, that's going to help me achieve my goals, that wants to travel, that wants to really build a like solid life together based on like similar goals and values. And so I think that's something that's really important too, to be very upfront about from the beginning, is to say exactly what it is that you're looking for, and to honor your truth about what it is that you're looking for, because people have very different things that they're looking for when they go on there. Some people are just looking for hookups, right? And if that's what you're looking for, be like very honest, even in your like profile sentences. Right. But some people lie about it too. And I always, whenever I've been on them and I see people that say like looking for hookups, I'm like, good, that's good. I'm glad that you're really honest. Or people that are like, I'm in a relationship, but we're in a like open relationship. I'm like, they're being honest. At least you know what you're getting into if you go into that, and not very many people, if that is what they're truly looking for, can be open and honest and transparent about that. And I think that's kind of part of the culture that we need to get away from, is the people that are hiding who they truly are. And that if you are on those, that you need to be like very transparent in what you're looking for, and be very clear about what it is that you're looking for before you even go on them. So I just wanted to say that one thing, because I did run into somebody who was very much looking for that, and I was very grateful that they were so clear about that's what they were looking for from the beginning, because, well, that wasn't the reason that we weren't a good fit. It was the alcohol that was the reason we weren't a good fit. But it's still like, I knew from the very first date that we weren't a good fit for two reasons. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you that people should be upfront with what they're looking for. And also, this guy, he knew that his wife, or she was never coming back. So he knew that he needed help. I've met guys that they tell you that me being a single dad on my own, it doesn't work. So I need somebody, I need somebody that can take charge, that can mentor me to help my kid. And they're just upfront out there. But some people, they just know that their exes, they're 100% helping out. So they know that they're just looking for a spouse, not to replace anyone. So I think every situation is different. That's why I always say to people, like, when you look at your situation as individual. And when you do go on dating apps, it's just write your profile. If there is a specific thing that you're looking for, make sure that the person that are reading your profile, they don't waste time. But you cannot put no time wasters. I've seen people, like, they come to me, they've created their profile, they're like, no time wasters. I'm like, if you put no time wasters, that means you're gonna get time wasters. Write your profile professional, take professional pictures, scare people away that want to waste your time. And they'll be like, wow, I'm not gonna contact her, or I'm not gonna contact him. So yeah, there are some people who have found romance online. There are some people, like Amanda, you were saying, people, they go online and looking for different reasons. I've met a guy, one of my clients, he was so broken. He was talking to this guy. He was looking for a woman, and then this woman, he was talking to him for 6 months, pretending to be a man, to be a woman, and then later on he fell in love. No, I don't know what made him actually speak to somebody online without knowing their face or anything. So he was like asking for pictures, and this person will send pictures, and it went on for 6 months, and then after, the guy ended up confessing that he's actually married. He's a man, He was just bored online. He just wanted to, just time to pass him by. He just wanted somebody to uh, keep him some company because he doesn't get too much attention at home. So it broke him because he thought the relationship was going somewhere. And then he realized actually it wasn't what he thought. He was so broken. So you do get all these there's different stories that you find in these dating apps. Or sometimes you can go to dating apps and you see the profile. There are some dating apps where I go and I'll see like similar guys and I'll be like, are these profile fake or are they real? You'll find that this person is registered themselves to different apps. So I don't know whether it's apps that are putting the pictures or it's the people that are actually registering. So that part I'm not sure. So it's very important for those who want to get into dating. I did try dating on apps as well, just doing some research. I just wanted to know the difference between a matchmaker and dating apps. And for me, I was finding the guys that just wanted to go on a first date and have sex. That's what I was finding through. Like, I'll meet the guy. I'm like, I'm going on a date, getting excited. And then after getting excited, I'm like, he's saying goodbye, and the guy want to come to my house. I'm like, I don't think so. So yeah, so you find all sorts of things. But I'm glad that I did those research because now I can see the difference. And also I see like my clients when they come to me, every person has a story. They experiences. Some have good experiences, some have bad experiences. So it's all different with what what people are looking for. And some people get traumatized by meeting the wrong people. Simply they get connected to the wrong people. And sometimes I had this girl, she was start doing dating online. And she says nowadays the guys that when you go online with them on a date, they demand half dinner. She was like, it's not the same as it used to be. Uh, Guys don't tolerate women anymore. They're not really looking after, like they're not well cultured men out there. I think they've been hurt. So I said to her, they must have been really hurt now. They don't really care. And she says, you find rough guys. They'll be like, just to be clear up front, on this date, you arrive nicely. And when you sit on the table, the guy will be like, just to be clear, we're going half on the meal. And simply, some people are not looking to date. That is in America, actually. There's an article that came out in America. I saw it with other matchmakers that were talking about it, that nowadays people, they use dating apps to get free meals. They're not really I don't know whether is you've got that in Canada. You're muted, Amanda.
I said, I don't know. I'm sure people do. I'm sure people have all their different reasons right now for going on. And maybe some people, that is their only intention, right? That's why I said being very clear and honest about your intention is kind of something that's really blurred with the amount of people that are on apps like that. And I think that having that quantity, it makes it really difficult to find quality because they're just so many. And if somebody doesn't align with you perfectly, it's just like next, right? It's almost like an addiction, like a gambling addiction, right? So, and I think some people have addictions to dating apps, and some married people are on dating apps and not being truthful about what their situation is. And I think that's something that really is killing our society and our like values of what do you value, and being really honest about that and getting really deep with what is it that you value and why is it that you value it. And I know at different times in your life you'll be valuing different things. That's when you're young, maybe it is to date a whole bunch of different people. When you're older, maybe it's you're looking for that like one person that you want to truly be with. I listen to Mark Groves quite often. His social media is called Create the Love, and he talks about in his younger years how he was like very broken inside, and having lots of meaningless sex, and having meaningless relationships, and it just like made him feel less like made him feel worse about himself. And then when he started to really get real with himself about why he was repeating these same patterns, and he's got like a huge social media following, like over 1 million people, all where he just was like really open and raw about his relationship challenges. And he dove really deep into looking at the human psyche and why it is that we do the things that we do. And he has like this
What's
really
his
like
name, Amanda?
his name is Mark Groves, and it's Create the Love is his social media platform. And he has a podcast too. And he just has, now he's like happily married with the um girl that kind of like got him on this like path of really like looking at self, and what it is that causes us to repeat our patterns, and why, and how to just become a better human in general. And so he has like different courses on his website and stuff. I've never taken any of them, but he really has grown. And I like how he's so honest about when he was in that like meaningless sex stage of his life, that it what it taught him, and what it taught him about why he was doing that. And it's so eye-opening for people to be like, that wasn't my values. Like, what is it that are truly my values? And get real with yourself. And if you're accepting things that are not what you want, that's on you. That's on you for accepting less than what you deserve, and what aligns with your values. And if they don't align with your values, then it's time to move on. And I think that's something that's really stuck with me, is I want a really healthy relationship based on similar values, where we want to read relationship books together to make sure we have a clear, solid relationship, where we want to read financial books together to have financial goals that are aligned, to really have like exercise goals aligned as well, and not be willing to settle for anything that's less than that. I just have to go turn off this alarm in my house, that because it's so early here. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I agree with Amanda. We need to know really what we want in life. Even when you go on these dating apps, think about what do you really want. And yeah, I was saying, Amanda, I agree with you. I've looked at this guy; he is so big. I'm gonna follow him and listen to his story. Um, we do, even though you go through challenges when it comes to dating, when you go to these dating apps, there are some people that they find love very, very easy. Some people, I think, sometimes it's all about the energy. They know exactly what they want, and they're not willing to negotiate their want and desires. And that's why the universe will connect them with, through these dating apps with what they want. And then there are some people who go through challenges. I've watched different stories on YouTube, people who met people on dating apps. Some people that have had lost houses because they thought they found love. And when they found love, and this person is a distance relationship, that person doesn't even exist. These guys, they just go and register themselves on dating apps to simply take money from people. And this woman, there's different of them. Some of them are in America, UK, and some of them, they have had to sell their widows, they had to sell their houses because this person keep asking for money, and they send it, and then they end up bringing the team to investigate whether love, and it turns out that these people, they are just scammers, and mostly they are like from Nigeria, and they just go in the US, and they just go and register themselves on dating apps, and they know that there are people who are desperate, who are really, really have no self-esteem. And for me, what I would say is, if you go online strictly for dating, dating has nothing to do with you starting having to look after somebody or start sending money to the person. It has to be strictly dating. And if you went online, and that it becomes like sex, or you end up meeting somebody that just wants sex, you got to ask yourself your goals. What made you in the first place to go on that dating app and stick to it? I know there are so many people that have gone through challenges through dating apps, but at the same time, there are still genuine people out there like you guys who are looking to date. And it's just, how do you find them? That's where. Do you have any ideas, Amanda? What the attitude, like you were talking about goals and alignment, what attitude do they really need to have in order to stick to the dating business instead of start sending money? Because I've watched people on TV, they say, I've sent 50 grand, I've sent 100 grand. Like, yeah, this person will keep saying, oh, I have a problem. And they all, it's the same story. They're like working in the main oil industry, and they are away, they can't get to, they cannot reach the bank or something. They make up so much excuses.
Mhm. Well, again, that's just people trying to scam people online, and it's very prevalent, right? You can scam people with money, you can scam people with your intentions, you can scam people about not being honest about who it is and what you're looking for. And so I think it's just it's really sad that that's what some of society has come to. And I know when we didn't have so much access to instant gratification on our phones, that life was different, and we were a little bit more present with ourselves, and we weren't so consumed by our technology and by our social media and by the dating world even. And I know I was listening the other day, and I forget what it was, either a podcast or something, and somebody was talking about dating apps and how they're really designed like Instagram and stuff to keep you on, to hold your attention, to keep you glued to the screen and not actually even going out in person and meeting in real life. And because there's so many complex algorithms to hold your attention on the devices, it's something that you really have to be conscious of and start to be aware of. How much time are you spending doing that, and then not doing the things that you actually truly love? How are you getting addicted to your phone in a different way via the apps? Like what are you spending the most of your time doing? And I think that's something that we really need to be aware of. If you want somebody who's outdoorsy and exercises and those things, then start doing those things. Go to the gym, go join group hiking groups, go join a soccer team, join a baseball team. I don't know what sports you guys are play, but like, just get yourself out there. You never know who you're going to meet, but you can't just sit at home on your phone and because there's so much quantity of people on there, but they're spending so much time on the dating app too. And some people can truly meet wonderful people, don't get me wrong. But I think sometimes, like you said, there's people who get duped. And I've been duped too by people just not being honest about who they truly are or what they're truly looking for. Because there's, and I look at people who have duped me and I'm just like, what I say to myself, like, what is it that happened in your life that made it so that you can't be honest and truthful about who you truly are and what you're truly looking for? Because if you can't be truly honest with yourself, you can't be honest with others. And I think that's something that's really, really important, right? Is to be really, truly honest with yourself about what it is that you're looking for, what it is that you're hoping to bring into your life. And just really have that like honest conversation even with yourself. Write down your deal breakers and don't let anybody into your life that falls in those deal breaker spaces, because it's just going to end up in heartbreak later on, right? Or if somebody shows you, this is one of the things Mark Rose always talks about, is like, when somebody shows you who they truly are, believe it. Don't be like, oh, and make excuses for them. Be like, no, this is how they choose to show up. You can't change them. Like that, they've shown you, and it takes time. It takes time to see people's who they truly are and what they're truly looking for, or what their behaviors are, because everybody's on their best behavior at the start of a relationship too, right? You're in your best behavior, putting your best self forward and hiding those deepest, darkest secrets within yourself. That those deepest, darkest secrets will pop up after 6 months or a year or 2 years after that infatuation stage fades away. And so I think that we really need to just look and not be willing, anything that's outside of what you truly want is just to like lovingly say, this isn't what I want. This is, I know what I'm looking for, and I'm not willing to settle.
Really agree with you, Amanda, when you say be cautious about how much time you spend on dating apps, because it can be very, very addictive as well. So it's very, very important. And also, um, not sure how this world has turned into. Maybe the guys need to start doing the work, because men nowadays don't really approach girls. I don't know why. They used to, because no, in an old generation they didn't have these apps, so they used to approach women natural, but now they don't. Even you will find that you will see somebody that has somebody that they like at work, and then they'll be like, oh, there's this girl that I like at work, but I'm afraid of rejection if I approach them. So I'm like, if you're gonna get rejected, you're gonna get rejected anyway. So might as well ask somebody to go out. And if they say no, they say no. Everyone has a right to say yes or no, but it does not mean that there's nothing wrong with you. So I think the guys need to start doing the work that they're meant to be doing, preaching men, and not waiting for women to go on dating apps. And I know it's fun for some people to just to get attention when you don't see who you're talking to, and just exchanging messages. It can be fun sometimes, but at the same time, it's wasting time. And so it's very, very important. My sound not okay, Amanda?
It's better now. It wasn't at the very, very start. It's just like cutting in and out, like the very first time that you were
Oh,
talking.
okay. Is it okay now? I didn't
Yeah.
see a message till now. Sorry.
I didn't want to interrupt. Um, yeah, I think when we when we when we look at like saying and blaming something for killing the meaning of true love, like you're pointing fingers, right? Do I think that it can have an impact? Absolutely. Do I think that people can meet on dating apps and find true love? Absolutely. It's how you choose to use those apps and how you choose to approach online dating and how you choose to show up. And are you showing up as the best version of yourself? And are you working on yourself internally on what it is that you want in your life? And if you want to show up a different way, then you need to start showing up a different way. And one of the things I actually was like, because we talked about Mark Groves while you were talking, I glanced through some of the stuff that he posted just to see if there was something that I could touch base on. And he was talking about like making micro commitments to yourself. And when you make micro commitments to yourself, you are showing up for yourself. And he talked about like these people who make grandiose, I like just scanned through and obviously hit where he was talking about New Year's resolutions. And he was like, people make these grandiose New Year's resolutions, and yet they can't even commit to making their bed every day. And when you can't commit to making your bed every day, you're not showing up for yourself. So start to make some micro commitments to yourself and show up and do those. And when you've made those micro commitments on a regular basis, and then they become a habit, and then you are knowing that you're showing up for yourself. So then you can set up another micro commitment for yourself that you're going to set and then do. And I know for myself, even when I really like was trying to date a number of years ago, I didn't want to go online dating. I really, and it made me really anxious. The thought of relationships, because of the trauma that I faced in my marriage, made me like really anxious. And so I would go to counseling and be like, okay, I'm gonna try this. I need support. I'm gonna come in to counseling like once a month or once every 2 weeks. Well, I do attempt to go online and like really talk out what is going on within myself, that I am having these anxieties around dating because of my past trauma. Um, and then to show up and be honest and really feel those feelings, and why are these things triggering to me, and why is it that I am feeling the way I'm feeling about going online. And I had to just approach it as one of the ways that I started approaching it at a different point in time was that I'm just going to go out for a walk with somebody, because I'd want to go for a walk anyways. So I might as well like put myself out there and be like, kill two birds with one stone. I'll get a walk in and I'll meet somebody new. And I'll do that like once a week or once a month or whatever it was that I was trying to do. But I was like, okay, I need to be brave enough to put myself out there in this capacity, but I don't want it to take up my time because I have very limited time where I would get some exercise. So I just approached it as like, instead of sitting in a coffee shop for 3 hours with somebody or an hour or 2 hours or whatever it was with somebody, trying to get to know them, and feeling like it was a giant waste of time, I would just be like, okay, I'll go for a walk with you. We can go to a coffee shop and we can go for a walk. And then I didn't feel like it was such a waste of time if I didn't like the person. I just was like, well, I got up my walk in. I got my walk in and I met somebody new, and that was kind of my goal, right? Was to put myself out there and meet somebody new and see if there was any type of alignment with what it is that we're looking for. And I think sometimes when you are really clear on what it is that you're looking for, it's like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but you also have to value yourself enough to know that you are that needle that somebody's searching for too, right? Somebody's searching for somebody that has the qualities that you have, that has the goals that you have, that are willing to make those micro commitments to themselves to show up so that you can make actual macro commitments to yourself. And I think that lots of people aren't willing to do that, and that makes your group of people that you're looking for smaller, but it also makes you more conscious and aware and committed to what it is that you're seeking.
It's very, very important. I like it when you say micro commitment, where you have to make a decision to show up for yourself, because when you show up for yourself and making that commitment, it means you write down your goals and you do things that you love, your values, you understanding your beliefs, and deal breakers as well. And you're also not willing to actually um, put yourself out there and date the wrong people. Because when you make a commitment, it's like, I'm going to show up for myself. You have to practice on you first. And when you practice, if it's working, and then you go and then you'll be able to share that with somebody else, that commitment. Because like what you're saying, Amanda, that somebody can't even make their own bed and stuff. So just show up for yourself and then put yourself out there. And also when you put yourself out there, know what you want to. There's some people that they write goals, they know exactly what kind of a person they want and what kind of a person they don't want. But because there's this thing where people they've labeled themselves like I'm getting old. When you're getting old, you have to be quick. Date somebody, find that special person and date them. Or some people they're like put their label that they cannot have children. Go freeze your eggs if you feel that you're getting older. I was looking at this woman, she's 50 years old, 70 on Facebook yesterday. It was her birthday, and she looks like 30s or 40s. I was shocked that when they said she's 70, and I was like, wow, this is what I'm talking about. She walks it, she speaks it, and she's just happy, and she looks really, really young. And I was like, wow, I wish when I'm 70, I'm gonna look just like that. And just live your life, because we tend to be like, wow, I don't have to be on my own. And also sometimes we listen to people and people be like, why are you single? Or we look at people's lives and we start comparing our lives with other people. I want to say to people, those who are single, I'm like, you never get that time back being single. So enjoy every moment, because once you find somebody, no one knows how when you can find that special person, but when you are single, make the most of it without any regret. Because once you meet somebody, you'll be like, I wish I miss those days when I was on my own, when I don't have to scream when the socks are on the floor and things like that. So I'm like, enjoy every moment of that time when you
I,
feel.
I saw something the other day that where somebody had posted like relationships are great, but they're hard. Being single is great, but it's hard. It's like a different hard, choose your hard, right? It's a different great, choose your great.
Yeah,
And I think that was something that was really, really empowering, because there are wonderful things about being single. There are
yeah,
wonderful, wonderful things about being single and having that time and that special time, especially if you're a single parent, that special time with your child, that time to work on yourself. I know for myself, when I'm single, I make it to the gym way more often than I do when I'm in a relationship. And I know I can commit to myself to getting to the gym 3 times a week, no matter what. But then in a relationship, sometimes it doesn't happen so much because we're trying to like juggle our schedules or something like that. And so those like commitments to me are things that I sometimes like set to the side when I am in a relationship, and and then I'm like, oh wait, those pieces of me are falling away. I need to like pull them back in. And I think for me, like one of the things I would look for in somebody is somebody that wants to like make sure that I get to the gym 3 times a week, right? But then also having dating and valuing our relationship as well, where it's not the only thing we do is go to the gym, but there are other commitments to each other as well. And I think that's something that's really valuable, is what you're saying, is like enjoy the time that you have when you're single, because it is really wonderful too. It's not
yeah,
a
it's,
like
it's, it's a blessing, Amanda. I always say life itself is a blessing. Whether we are single, just enjoy it. And when you enjoy life, that's when the universe will be like, okay, here's a gift, and then they give you somebody. But if you're miserable, and then that means when you meet that person, you're not going to be fulfilled. So if there's anyone out there who are single and they feel that why my friends are in a relationship, why am I not in a relationship? You don't have to feel that way. Enjoy every moment of it. When you are not looking, I move with when I was going through divorce. I moved to a different city. I had all these ideas that I had planned that I'm gonna enjoy my singleness. I'm gonna do this, but I wasn't looking for the guy. But then the guy showed up because I wasn't looking for it. And I was enjoying spending time with my daughter. And not even one day where I felt lonely. If I go and put TV, popcorn, I just sit there and just watch TV and enjoy it. So just try to enjoy your singleness if there's anyone who is single out there. And also, love, you don't have to find it on dating apps. If you have money, you can join a matchmaker. There are some matchmakers where you can be on their database as well for free if you can't afford them. And also, love can be found anywhere. Bus stop, trains, on the train, bus. You can find love everywhere. We just need to learn to go back to that a culture, generation, older generation culture where we greet each other. Nowadays, nobody greets anybody. If somebody says hello to you, the person instead of responding, they'll look at you and say, "Are you okay?" On LinkedIn, honestly, I used to, when I started LinkedIn, that's how I built my following on LinkedIn. I've got like 40,000 people following me. I used to like send messages like on their birthday. I'll say happy birthday because LinkedIn is or social media, they'll tell you whose birthday is it. And some people will be like responding. Domsa, no one send a message for a LinkedIn for somebody's birthday, wishing them birthday. I'm like, are you kidding me? You meaning we can do business? We don't have to care about each other. And they'll be like, wow, now that you put it that way, it makes sense. I always think that this platform is for business only. And then in the following year, if I send a message late and this that some person that said this year, or so we don't send messages on LinkedIn. When they receive my message, it'll be like, oh no, sir, you don't know how much this means to me. Just for you to take time and saying hello. Now I'm realizing the importance of a relationship, what it means. So just take time and just say hello to people. And also, if you're single, behave like a single person. I'm not saying be desperate or anything. If you are single, be alert, be in the present moment, because there are some people that their husband passed them because they don't want to talk to people. They say hello. A man will say hello to a woman, and a woman will not respond because they're like, what is into him? Why is he saying hello? So just put yourself out there, say hello to people. There's actually few girls that have come to my agency. And one of them now, one of them went to Tony Robbins, and she's a dating, she's a relationship coach now. She's so beautiful, this girl, really, really beautiful. She has a high-end job, and I said to her, why do you need a matchmaker? She was like, because I need help, sir. I'm doing something wrong. I said to her, listen, go online. She already had a profile online and she has spent Amanda thousands and thousands of pounds, like 20,000 pounds for coaching. And she was about to go and pay another one to go to the next level. So I was like, what next level are you going? What kind of a coaching are you doing? And she was like, a relationship for me to understand the dating. And I was like, you know what? And we met, and I'm glad that she invited me. And when she invited me, went for a meal, and I just had few words. and she actually found love online. And when she did, this guy, she nearly actually chased him away because there was something that she didn't like about this guy. And but the guy himself is very well off and he's got a house. And then she went to the house and she was like, but his house does not match mine. And I was like, he's a man. The house does not have to match yours because he needs, in order for him to stay in a beautiful house. He had a big house, but apparently it wasn't beautiful like he has. And I was like, we're looking for love here. And when we are looking for love, we need to focus on love. I was like, go and check your goals. What are you looking for? You're looking for a man that is in the same level as you financially. So she was like, yes. I was like, so this guy is in the same level, but the only problem is he's very attractive. The only problem is the house. So can we just stop being silly and just sit down and ask yourself, what do you want? And she sat down and she decided to date the guy. And she is the happiest girl. She travels around the world with this guy. Sometimes our husband is our neighbor, but we don't know that because we don't talk and we don't open up to the universe to connect with what we deserve. So I think that would be my words of encouragement for every man and woman out there who feels that, you know what, I don't think there's good women out there. I don't think there's good men out there. There is good women out there. There is good men out there. You just need to find the right character to find that person to date because they are just out there. Like if I go to town myself, I greet people not because I want something like my neighbors. If they don't see me, they call me the girl with the earphones. They're like, oh, I don't see her. Where is she? I'm like, oh, sometimes maybe I go away. They think I've moved away because I always say hello to people. Not because I want something or anything. It's because that's how normally we have to be. But unfortunately, this world is changing, so you don't have to change with the world. Just be normal and let the universe deliver. And the age, it does not define who you are. Having children, it does not define who you are. Being a single mom or single dad cannot stop you finding that true love. There's people that don't mind dating single guys, people don't mind dating single moms. But if you're single, enjoy every moment. Make it count. Because that time you never get it back. Over to you, Amanda. What's your words of encouragement?
I think it's just to get really real with yourself about what it is that you're working on and be really conscious of the time and the focus that you are spending on yourself, because it should be equal to the time and effort that you're spending on looking for love too, if that is what you're looking for, and just be really clear on your intentions and what it is that you're looking for. And if there's things that show up that aren't what you're looking for, just lovingly be like, this isn't what I'm looking for, and let go, and not try to like butt heads to continue something that's not healthy for you, because you know what's healthy for you. You know what you deserve, you know how the value that you bring to the world, and you shouldn't accept anything less than that. So that's my words of encouragement, is don't accept less than what you know you deserve, because you deserve the best, and you bring value, and you are loved and loving and lovable. No matter what has happened in your past, you have the capacity to be loved, loving, and lovable at all times.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Amanda. Where can they find you? I know they can find you on my website. Definitely, you can find Amanda on my website, and also you can contact me if you can't get hold of her. Where can they find you, Amanda?
Just on my website as well, artmindfulnessandcreativity.com, or any social media. I'm just Art Mindfulness and Creativity as well.
Please subscribe to our channel, guys. If you need coaching, go to the website www.hseia.com. and subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on join our Facebook groups and our page. God bless everyone and see you too.